look. All right, I ordered this film. I've been told it's a dog movie. It's about a T-Rex and like their partner, and they go around town and they're trying to like get revenge because of some science stuff that's happening in the background.
Yeah, okay. I've heard of this. This is about a T-Rex, right?
So T-Rex movie.
The T-Rex,
okay. Dinosaur film.
Yeah. So like like a dog, dinosaur dog. We've seen Yoshi. Yoshi's a dog.
Yoshi is a dog. Yeah, and you know what? If it was like a cyberpunk future movie, like Mario, like the Mario Brothers film, I think that would really help.
All right. So let's pop in Tammy and the T-Rex, and let's go and. Do you want to do the gore cut or?
Oh no!
What do you mean?
It's much worse. I'm sorry. We're watching. I mean, I have Tammy and the T-Rex, but unfortunately, we're watching Theodore Rex.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I've already locked the doors. You can't leave.
I
have a recording saying that you were going to do this episode. So if you try to leave, I will sue your fucking ass for $20 million.
I'll do it if you give me another $2 million on my regular cut.
Drive a hard bargain, but
okay, at least $2, please. At least $2. All
right, welcome to the podcast, everyone. Fuck.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
The future's toughest cop is Katie Coltrane.
I'm back.
And now she's getting a new partner.
Dun, 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 dun.
His name is Teddy.
Hit me. It's a dinosaur.
You two solved this case together.
Oh, what? What? It's a dinosaur.
New partner, Coltrane?
He's got the style.
I'm here for a new look.
Step right up.
Push the button.
He's a cop.
Mahalo!
You gotta make him look like a real cop.
I'm too sexy for my clothes.
That thing at the table just clacked at me.
He's got horns for you. It's very normal.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Can you just slide your butt? Yeah, that's great.
Like that?
And introducing...
Ooh, doggy!
Teddy.
Sweets. One per customer.
Theodore Rex.
Pig.
It's a tale you'll never forget.
I'm Boyx. That's Ilion. This is Rough Cuts.
Hey.
We watch movies.
We talk about bad dog movies.
With dogs in them, and then we rate the dogs at the end, not the movie.
This has a dog. It has Zippy. Zippy's we'll talk about. We got to talk about Zippy at the end.
So we do joke stuff sometimes, but also they are dogs. This one actually does have
We do joke sometimes. Sometimes, we're known to do a joke. We're known to have fun here.
I've never not been serious in my life on this podcast. And anyways, Theodore Rex, a 1995 film, which was started in 1992 in the heyday of the Dinosaurs television series, which was popular at the time, using technology from 1989 that then came out in 1995. This is the golden era of the transition from animatronics to CGI.
Yes.
And
it has both.
Obvious in this movie.
Yeah, this movie has the worst of all worlds.
Yeah.
Has the absolute worst animatronics I've seen in a movie, and some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in a movie.
It's so good.
It's so such a great blend.
I think it was either the director or one of the producers, because they were test screening this in 95, and the test screens went very badly.
What?
So they were panicking, and then one of them went to the movie Dragonheart, which was like a CGI dragon movie.
Yeah,
and they're sitting there in the
theater.
It's not
very good.
That movie's bad.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
But the CG looks good for the time, I would say.
For the time?
It doesn't hold up, mind you, but for 95, 96, it's like pretty okay. And they were sitting in the theater for Dragonheart and saying, "Oh, we are fucked." And Dragonheart is what you're saying.
Oh,
we are fucked about. That is not good.
Yeah, if you see Dragonheart and you go, "Oh man, this is so much better than anything we're doing," oh no,
not a good sign.
Well, we're cooked. Throw in the towel. Dragonheart's kicking our ass. Oh no.
This movie has a very tumultuous history, very battled history, I would say, which actually makes it interesting to talk about. Not necessarily because of the movie, although the movie's interesting too.
No, this movie's interesting as fuck.
And you think you're gonna get somebody? Not tonight, baby.
This is one of my favorite Rough Cuts experiences of the last while, honestly. This is probably... we've done a lot of episodes, so I guess it's probably only top 20 if I really think about it. But this is up there because it is unadulterated nonsense. Nothing makes sense. Every decision is like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, every single scene is just a bafflement. It's unreal.
It's so weird.
It's kind of impossible to talk about.
But so this is an Italian produced movie. So it's technically an Italian film.
Yes.
It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes for critics and an 18 with 2,500 reviews from people that have watched the film. So it fits our criteria, I guess. Is what
I would give it a very strong 0% recommendation on my end.
I also think nobody should watch Theodore Rex, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
No, we're not here to talk about that. No.
It's based on a book, oddly enough. It's based on a book.
Wait, what?
A dark, gritty, noir, cyberpunk mystery novel where one of the partners just happens to be a dinosaur.
Wait, really?
And it was supposed to be gory and bloody and dark. And as the filming went on, one of the producers or directors would constantly just keep redoing scenes. And, I got an idea. I saw a movie this weekend. Let's change this. And they would just change it halfway through, like doing things and writing scenes and getting the filming done.
God.
So it was just constant rewrites of like, this was good. Let's do that. That's a good idea. And they would just constantly do it and change things to the point where everybody on set was just anxious and pissed off at all times. But that's also why you see, so because they couldn't use CG, they had to do models for a lot of this, as well as like actually creating sets. So when it said something like, we need an 80-story tall purple building in our neon noir dark fantasy setting, they would have to make an 80-foot tall it's a model, so
like a scale model
that was purple and paint it and make it bright. But then during reshoots they're like, let's start making everything kind of brighter and blast the contrast on everything so we can make it more kiddie, so we can get the kids to come and watch the movie as well. So that's why you also see scenes where it's like very bright primary colors just out of nowhere.
Yeah, because we open on Theodore Rex.
Yes.
In his apartment, and it's all like pastels, and it almost looks like a kid's room.
Yes.
Like it's like a
Pee-wee's Playhouse is what it is.
Yeah. But it's like a big animatronic Tyrannosaurus Rex in this, like you said, Pee-wee's Playhouse room. Like everything kind of looks, what am I trying to think of? Like little tykes. Do you know what I mean? Like that plastic kind of stuff.
Like a Fisher-Price type of color.
Like a Fisher-Price kind of set. But then it like cuts to Whoopi Goldberg stopping some organ harvesters through murder.
Oh, it's cold. Warm. Perfect. Don't flush. Hey! Hooey! Hi!
Don't cook your circuits again, Coltrane. I'm sick of always dragging you in for repair.
Downloading outlaw combustion vehicles.
Attention shoppers! Influence special at aisle 9. Naughty Boy clones are half off.
Seriously, Coltrane. You sure your CPUs are ready for action?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, midnight tomorrow, it's all over! Somebody help me!
Well, there's also, like, the super dark and gritty plastic bag forest, like, dream sequence with the exploding butterfly at the beginning. Like, so there's just this weird dichotomy of, like, super serious noir crime and then goofy idiot dinosaur movie. And they don't know what they want.
It's aimed at, like, 8-year-olds.
There's also the crawl at the beginning that explains the film, because the test screenings went so badly that the children in the test screenings were like, I can't follow any of this adult shit that's happening in this movie. I need you to explain the plot to me.
Once upon a time in the future. At midnight tomorrow, billionaire Eleazar Kane will launch his new Eden missile to bring on another ice age. After mankind is extinct, Kane will reanimate the pairs of all Earth's animals he keeps frozen in his ark and create his vision of paradise.
I mean, if they didn't have that starting crawl, there's no plot until an hour 20 in?
It's very late. It's supposed to be one of those films where, like, they trickle in bits and pieces of information, so you, the audience, are supposed to be solving the crime and the mystery as it goes on. But instead, they just dump it, like, 20 minutes before the end.
Well, also, the trickle of information and the whodunit side of things, they kind of don't focus on that almost at all. It's just weird vignettes of disconnected nonsense. Like, they have my notes are things like Glando on Maine, video game carnivorous trap.
Nonsense bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm watching those dinosaurs fuck real good, boss. Like, it's, you know, like...
There was the sicko in the window with the binoculars watching these dinosaurs have sex, yeah.
I have a not today, and then Lady Dinosaur murders a man with a fucking lamp from a bathtub.
Yep.
Like, it's... Nothing makes... There's no progression of the mystery, because the mystery is, oh, well, there's a dead dinosaur. And it's like, okay, well, what should we do? Have wacky hijinks with Whoopi Goldberg for an hour? But the wacky hijinks are also... So you did a lot of research around this, because this is an Oliver Daly situation.
It's a whole fucked up weird situation. And the movie is just like the result of that.
Yeah, and I looked at some stuff, but Whoopi Goldberg's role in this is very interesting, like you were saying.
They originally wanted the main character to be a white guy.
And had tapped Kurt Russell.
Specifically a white guy.
Yes.
It was Kurt Russell or Val Kilmer is who they were talking about. Which I think is funny. This is almost like tricking Stallone into doing that Stop or My Mom Will Shoot You movie. It's like that type of situation.
That energy.
But they ended up tapping Whoopi Goldberg because Sister Act was doing really popular at the time. They're like, oh, we should get her because Sister Act is good and she'll be a great comedy lead. So they rewrote the role for her.
And for it to be comedy.
And she originally said yes because the original script is a gritty noir murder mystery. But they rewrote it by the time shooting and pre-production would have started. Which, by the way, the pre-production team kept getting swapped out constantly before they actually started shooting. So by the time they actually shot the film, the pre-production team from the beginning of pre-production was different than when they actually got to the people shooting it. So it wasn't even the same people throughout pre-production. Which is
that
not
makes
a good
so
sign.
much sense.
That
makes so much sense for the way this movie looks and feels.
So by the time she got the rewrites and realized it was going to be a giant pile of shit, she backed out and said that she never actually agreed to do it to begin with.
But this is the funny thing.
The producer sued her for $20 million worth of damages, is what happened.
Yes.
And then she countersued them, saying, you have no proof that I said yes. However,
However,
they supposedly illegally taped a recording of her during a conversation.
She calls it illegally.
She says it was illegal, but they secretly taped her while she was talking to them.
The way that I saw it was that she called and his answering machine picked up.
Oh, it was on the answering machine?
But no. So it wasn't that they did it on purpose. This is why the judge allowed it, is because the answering machine came on and started recording. He picked up the phone and it kept was like,
recording.
Whoa, and then kept talking to her. And the answering machine kept recording. And she just kept blabbing and went, well, you're going to have to pay me more if I'm going to be in this pile of shit. And like, I'm going to say I never agreed to it. And just admitted to all of it on tape. And then afterwards they went, wait a minute. Was the answering machine still recording? And looked at it and they were like, it sure fucking was.
Oh,
so
no.
then they brought it. And so that's when the judge told her to settle.
Because they ended up bringing a recording of her saying that she would do it to court.
Yep.
So they ended up making a deal of giving her an extra $2 million on the 5 to just do it, which she thought would at least be a good deal compared to the $20 million of damages that she would have to pay if she said no.
That's a pretty good deal.
But she was fucking pissed at them the whole time.
And you can hardly tell.
So reading about this, Whoopi Goldberg hated the producers so much because of all the legal drama that during mediation she told Abramson, one of the producers, to his face, just for the record, I hate your guts. Maybe in 10 years you and I can have a cup of coffee and laugh about this, but you've made my life a living hell and I hate your fucking guts. And the other producer during pre-production walked by her and said hi once, and she muttered motherfucker back at him under her breath. And for the rest of the film, she only referred to him as motherfucker, and she banned him from the set.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And like, it comes through so easily. Like, right, every scene that she's in, she is constantly, I mean, her character's supposed to be annoyed at other people at times, but boy, she really sells it. She's a great actress. She really sells how mad her character is at all times.
She's less annoyed at the characters and just annoyed to be on set, and it's so fucking obvious. It's so funny. There was a time later on in the film where we're watching it, I'm like, oh, maybe she's coming around and like, whatever, let's just get this over with. And she was still fucking pissed. It was really...
Yeah, you went, you know what? As the movie goes on, she's less annoyed by this. And then she goes, let's just fucking go to the guy next to her. I'm like, is she, Boix? Is she less done with this? She's like, I don't know why we're in the middle of this warehouse. Like, in the movie, talking to her partner, supposedly, but it's like, I think that half of her lines were just ad-libbed.
She was just
pissed off.
There were
like,
also scenes where, like, she's supposed to do some sort of, like, there's a scene later on where she knocks out two guys and steals their gun. But in the scene, she grabbed the gun the wrong way and then, like, awkwardly flips it around and leaves the scene. And we're like, okay, was that supposed to be a joke, or did she just fuck it up? And then, and you were saying, no, that's not a joke.
Like, she's just not gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna reshoot this. Fuck you. Like, she looked at the gun. Oh, I'm holding it wrong, and then like flips it around weird, takes a second, and then puts it away. And it's like, that's just Whoopi going like, if you want me to do it again, I'm just gonna fuck it up again.
Look, it's at least $1 million to do that fucking scene. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
exactly.
Fuck you. So there were some interviews with the people doing this film.
Yes.
One was a Bruce, who I think is the main actor miming inside of the dinosaur costume for Teddy Rex. By the way, the movie's called Theodore Rex, but everybody calls him Teddy Rex in the whole film. So why didn't they just name the movie Teddy Rex instead? I'm a little confused about that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it was Bruce is the face performance of Theodore Rex. And
he was the animatronic face guy.
And Pons Mar is the in-suit performer. And then the voice of him is George Newbern. So there's actually like a ton of different people that are involved in the face of it. Like,
but there's at least two people on set kind of moving the costume around.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So Bruce, the animatronic guy, was asked what was Whoopi like on set. And he's like, oh, fuck. Let me tell you about my first day. Okay, so I'm controlling the dinosaur and performing the hell out of that eye blink, because the rest of the mechanics on the fucking dinosaur costume are broken. So all I have is the eye movement and, like, the eyebrows. Nothing's working.
Which you can tell all the time. Like, we talked about that. Well, I gotta get back to that in a minute.
Yeah, you can see the eyebrows just moving up and down constantly in every scene.
And nothing else does. And I want to get back to that in a minute, but keep quoting him.
So nothing's working, and they're all yelling at me just to keep going. It's fine. Just keep going with the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Whoopi looks right at me, the animatronic guy, and shouts, "Is this fucking thing gonna work?" She starts staring right at me, and I just wither and say, "Hey, we're trying." And she go, "Well, it fucking better." And then storms off set. So he ends up going back to his honey wagon. So a honey wagon is like, it's literally just a small box with a bed, essentially. And a toilet.
It's an outhouse.
It's an outhouse with a bed.
Yeah.
In the middle of wherever. And from what I was told, this was shot in LA and it was fucking freezing in a cold snap during shooting. So you also have, like, Whoopi in this tight leather costume just fucking freezing her ass off on the outside night scenes that they were shooting to begin the film with.
Yeah, they have her in, like, a
for the
catsuit half the time.
Yeah. So he goes back to his little toilet hovel, and he's in the fetal position, just saying to himself, "It's over. My career's over. I'm gonna go home to my wife and tell her what happened. It's fucking over." Like, oh, Jesus. Because Whoopi yelled at me, and I'm never going to work in any part of town or planet ever again. So then, later on, Whoopi ended up kind of connecting with him, because they were both stuck into this bullshit together. And she found out that he was, in a honey hovel.
In a honey wagon, yeah.
Honey wagon. So once they started going and she found that out, she noticed that he was there, and she's like, "Hey, you're literally a lead role in this film. Let me get you a real trailer." And she ended up actually helping him out and talking to them to get him an actual trailer. So, yeah. And apparently she's been really nice to him and his family since, which is great.
Yes, he says that they became friends.
They were literally bonding over this awful bullshit experience.
It sounds like it's one of those things where you want to hate Whoopi for being so nasty to everyone on set. And it sounds like she probably could have been a lot better, but also at the same time, eventually she kind of went around to like, wait, it's the producers and stuff that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
And realized like, hey, maybe I'm taking it out on all these people around me that aren't getting paid $7 million to ruin their career over this thing. And she started being a little bit better, at least. So we can give her some small props, I guess. Well,
we were comparing this to the Super Mario Brothers movie, because Bob Hoskins was also put into a situation like this for that film.
Bob Hoskins was way better about it, though.
He was better, but he was also put in dangerous situations where he could get electrocuted and hurt.
Yes.
On set.
There was some problems on that set.
So these films are shot fast and loose.
Oh yeah.
And this situation itself is so weird and interesting. Okay, so it takes place in the future. The far, far future.
Okay. Wait, I have to guess. Fuck, we talked about this and I didn't get to guess it. So we're talking about a future where Boix, you looked it up and found out when this is set. And I haven't. And so I was supposed to guess because the plot is, they even tell the full plot in the title scroll. When we talk about the title scroll, that has James Earl Jones, by the way, narrating it.
It's true.
It's just, there's a billionaire and he's going to fire a rocket into space and that's going to make an ice age. And then he's going to redesign the earth in his image like God. That's the plot. And it has like weird organ harvesters. Whoopi Goldberg is a computer. By the way, I forgot to mention, Whoopi Goldberg's a computer.
She's like a cyborg, kind of like half human, half robot or something.
It never really comes up and has nothing to do with the plot, but it's there. Also, the billionaire dude is like splicing things to make them live again, which is why there's dinosaurs and there's like flying cars and all kinds of things. There's wheelers that are running around the streets, organ harvesting people,
like in Return to Oz, yeah.
Like Return to Oz wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey! Oh, serpents! It's serpents! Hey! What are you doing? That's not nice! Get off of there! This is T-Rex! This is an emergency! Mayday! Get This is an official police vehicle! Code Red! Get it! Katie, where are you?
So, oh god, what year does that, all of this together,
and this is
what year does that take place?
95 again is when the movie came out. But
when the movie came out.
The original plot and script was 92 is when they started writing it and talking about it.
I'm gonna, God, I have no idea if they're gonna say 500 years or 5 is the thing, because this is all so unreal, and it feels like retro future in a way.
It's retro future cyberpunk, but it's also like they've invented cloning. It's almost like Fifth Element style, although Fifth Element we found out came out after this. So
yeah, you were saying that they're like, oh, they just wanted to rip off Fifth Element. Like, no, Fifth Element was ripping this off.
Fifth Element is a ripoff of Theodore Rex, though, for the record. That is.
Oh, of course. Yeah. They said Luc Besson has
multiple
times
I have
talked
a
about how
recording
much he
on my
admires
answering
Whoopi.
machine that tells me.
Saying Luc Besson said, I'm going to say it's 2000. I'm going to go way into the future. 2250.
2250? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, 2250.
A little bit off. It is the far future year of the Barack Obama inauguration, 2009.
Fuck off.
Taylor Swift and Twilight.
Stupid far into the future where it almost doesn't make sense, or it's going to be so close that
it's
it really
just
doesn't
2009.
Make sense. God, that's so wild. Yeah, in 10 years, there's going to be a billionaire that just slices together dinosaurs and makes human computers.
I love when movies are set in the future and they only shoot it 10 years in the future. Like, you have no imagination? Really? You're not even going to try? Fuck. Like, at least when movies are like 30 or 40 years in the future and they were wrong, like, whatever. Like, I get it. 10 years, this movie could still be on sale in a store.
Yeah.
By the time
it wouldn't have. They knew that it wasn't going to be. They knew what they had.
So speaking of, this was a $33.5 million budget movie. It was originally supposed to get theatrical release, but they canceled it because of how bad the screenings went. Which means it was
that's funny.
a straight to TV and VHS.
Yeah, I feel like when I was a child, I remember seeing like ads for Theodore Rex. I've known about this movie for a while.
It had a trailer. The trailer was even on VHS tapes. Like,
maybe that's what it was. Maybe I saw the trailer on VHS tapes, so I just always assumed that it actually hit theaters.
So that makes this the second most expensive straight to VHS film ever produced.
Wow. What's the first?
Legionnaire, I think is the name of the movie. Oh. I've never heard of it. It's some big budget film, but that is a problem, right? Because
there's got a few problems.
So that's a problem. The animatronics were broken and not working by the time production hit. Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned about this.
Yeah.
Well, because you talked about this and I really wanted to point it out because it feels like you're right about what the solution was. Because the mouth doesn't articulate.
Yes.
Like, the only thing that articulates are the eyebrows. And they're just constantly moving them, like, just going wild.
Sometimes the mouth can open all the way, and sometimes it's just the front of the lips because the mouth is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they kind of solved it. Which was, they left the mouth open all the time and just had the actor go. So anyway, we were going to this place anyway. So and then I went down to the store, and then when we got to the store, I got some cookies. But you see, I'm a recovering carnivore, so I can only eat cookies. And that's why I like cookies. So I'm not gonna have any meat. No, I can't have meat. I don't want a wagon here, so I need to get some cookies. And I'm gonna get those cookies. And I'm gonna eat them, and then I'm gonna go and get a gun, and I'm gonna be a detective. Do you want me to be a detective? It seems like it'd be really fun. And then Whoopi Goldberg goes, "Shut the fuck up!" And then the scene ends.
That was the actor Whoopi Goldberg telling the voice man for Theodore Rex to shut the fuck up.
Oh, fine. No, I'll sit in the back of the garbage truck where it smells like cheese and fish. Boogers. Ugh, stinks in here. Ugh, I get my first case and here I am in the back of a garbage truck with the gush and the mush. Are you driving or what?
No, I'm waiting for you to sit down.
No, I can't sit down because if I sit down, I'll get gushy, and I'm not gonna get gushy because I just got my new clothes.
Okay, sorry. You're right.
You know how to drive this thing?
Shut up.
Well, then close the door.
Shut up.
It is.
Yeah.
It seems like they solved it by.
Well, it's because they had
his mouth is always open, so he's always talking.
And the suit has no motion, and apparently the guy in the suit couldn't see up or down. It was only straight in front, like a fucking mascot costume.
Mm-hmm.
So he had no vision either. And there were other scenes where, like, okay, we need to back up and get away from this explosive. It's very dangerous, and we need a cool action scene, but we can't move the costume fast. So we'll make Whoopi joke about taking tiny steps backwards very like carefully.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only because the costume couldn't move quickly backwards, so they had to do that to move the person without him falling.
Yeah, she's leading him around like holding his arm in a very obvious, you can't see, so I'm gonna kind of help you shuffle step away from a literal building blowing up explosion that they're in the building for.
It's so weird.
It's really, really good energy. It's great energy.
Don't shake the platform.
You know what? Little tiny baby steps to the left is good. Now to the right.
I'm out of here.
Right. Going right.
And it has like a lot of times, so Theodore Rex will come in every once in a while where like Whoopi is being held hostage by somebody and she's in trouble. And then it's like, oh, well, you didn't think I'd come alone, would you? Like, this is near the end. And then he pops in and he swings in, but they just do a tight shot of him and then they immediately cut because he can't do any of the action.
Yep.
So he's here, and thus the problem is solved. You don't need to see him solve it. Don't worry about it. He just does it.
Like,
trust us.
The only thing they could do was the tail is really big and awkward, so we're gonna have you turn around slightly and turn it into a joke that your tail keeps knocking things over. I guess. Like it feels like a compromise.
Like having Drusilla from Buffy stand in front of, who's a villainess, stand directly in front of an open door and monologue at him for a minute and a half as he shuffles steps slightly closer to her and then turns his back and whacks her with the tail into the very obviously open door an inch behind her.
and like, oh no, you got her.
Like, she's trapped now.
God. Anyways, let's talk about the lore of Theodore Rex. I think going from beginning to end of this film is whatever. It's just a buddy cop thing. But the lore and the background and the set design and what the fuck are they doing is more interesting than the plot.
Well, the plot is exactly what happens at the beginning.
It's just the crawl. That's it.
It's the starting crawl.
Yeah.
There's a billionaire who wants to restart life on Earth by making an ice age, and then these two people find out about it and stop him.
That's it.
That's it. That's the plot.
So supposedly dinosaurs have a hive mind with each other?
Yes. Like the
what
way that they get to that plot is so batshit that's the stuff that's fun.
Like what? Huh? Why? And they can feel each other's. They're like Billy and Jimmy Lee of the Double Dragons. They can feel each other.
They have twin psychics.
And psychic emotion each other. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, at the end of the movie, Teddy Rex is going to psychically have all the dinosaurs revolt against the billionaire.
No.
Oh, so there's no reason that they are psychically linked and it doesn't mean anything and nothing ever comes of it. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Or
yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
He starts in his apartment and he shows off that he's no longer eating meat because he's got a cookie gun.
Yep.
That he fires into his mouth.
He has a gun that shoots cookies, which he will use later. Oh, by the way, he's a vegetarian.
Puts the barrel in his mouth and shoots it in.
Yeah, he's a vegetarian who doesn't eat meat, so he has a dog. And, of course, me as a vegetarian means my dog can't have meat, so I need to feed my dog chocolate chip cookies every day.
Out of the cookie gun.
Be like, blam, take that, Zippy.
He is a cop. Shoots his dog in the mouth every day with a cookie gun.
Fucking A. So
But
he has to use
that
the cookie gun later, right?
Right? You'd think. I mean, well, obviously there's going to be a big plot point about him being carnivorous and like changing to from being a meat eater to not, and how much like they talk about that with all the dinosaurs. Like that's a big thing that when she goes to the extinction, the extinction.
Oh,
lounge?
the dinosaur strip club.
Yeah, the dinosaur strip club that he takes her to, where he
Yeah.
immediately sees the stripper, goes "Awooga," and then dates her.
Why was every dinosaur in the dinosaur strip club coming their pants constantly in every scene?
I was gonna ask you about that actually.
Oh
because
god,
the
there was
dinosaurs,
more than that scene. Hold on.
Yes, half the dinosaurs in all of the dinosaur scenes, dinosaurs are either so the woman that he goes awooga over is like it's basically like a 1940s like jazz club is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Hey boys," and like taking off like a feather boa and doing all this stuff with all of them. So she's doing like this big song and dance numbers. So they're either like super intelligent doing song and dance numbers, or at the same time in that same scene, Whoopi Goldberg walks in and one of the dinosaurs goes, and she goes, "What's wrong with him?" And he's like, "Oh, he likes you." And she goes at her for like 3 minutes. And that's just the scene of just this. She's like, "Is something wrong with him?" And his eyes rolling the wrong way as he's going. And you're like, what are they going for?
Because he's coming in his pants.
I'm kidding. Listen, find yourself a table, make yourself comfy, and love it.
That thing at the table just clacked at me.
Because he's glando, right?
Yeah.
So he's going glando.
Is that what that means?
Don't go glando on Maine.
Yeah,
they literally talk about.
Is he gooning in the Dino strip club? Like, is that what's happening?
I guess because Theodore Rex talks about them being glando, which is that they want to fuck. So I don't.
Anyways,
okay, that's just the thing. Don't worry about it. None of this ever comes up again.
So Whoopi Goldberg is a cop that has a chip in her brain that turns into a computer lady.
Yes.
For some reason, I think it's so that they can.
Well,
track
it's top
her.
secret. Nobody's allowed to say anything about it, and so they never do ever again, and it doesn't matter to the plot.
But I, the audience, need to know.
No, you don't. Shut up.
Also, she's like friends with a mystery meat teenager salesman.
Oh yeah. There's a small child who sells mystery meat
out of the skateboard zone.
Yeah, they call. Later on, the villain kidnaps him, and one of the henchmen goes, "I got that little boy who works at the mystery meat stand you wanted, boss."
What?
That's literally the line. That's the line.
But the bad guys want the kid that works at the mystery meat stand, who's also in the rollerball / skateboard dimension.
Yes.
Which they catch with a Polybius arcade machine.
Yeah, they put up an arcade machine that eats kids.
Yo, video games?
I mean, they put on... Wait.
What? Huh?
Oh, I've seen this. It's a carnivorous video game. It eats children by
No, it is, though.
It is! I nailed it!
It's the Polybius machine.
I won! I was right! It is a Why?
The fuck? And they bring him in the arcade machine to the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah, when the machine eats him, they don't take him out of the machine, they leave the machine. You gotta have him in a prison.
And we're like, wait, why do we need this kid? What? Huh? But I thought it was so that they could hold something against Whoopi so she wouldn't go after them while they're... By the way, they're also making a nuclear bomb that causes an ice age to kill the world because they have a Jesus complex and they want to Noah this shit with a literal ark of a zoo of 2 of every animal. I forgot to mention that part.
That's well, I mean, that was obvious.
It's called New Eden, and one of the dinosaurs was named Adam. And do you get it?
Well, that wasn't a dinosaur. That was a person.
That was a human, I guess.
Yeah, there was a second murder after the dinosaur gets killed. That's psychically linked to Theodore Rex.
It's called a dinocide.
A dinocide.
We have to be
It's not a
racist
homicide,
about
it's a
how we're
dinocide.
killing them too.
Oh yeah. Also, by the way, this movie's about racism.
Oh.
I forgot about that. I forgot. The movie forgets about it a lot too.
Okay, so the dinosaurs are like an allegory for minorities that are being held down by the system, and they got all the black people in the movie.
They got all the black
to be
actresses
racist
and actors
to them.
to be the racist ones. Yes.
And then they're constantly asking each other, "Hey, you're not speciesist, are you? Dinosaurs
Oh
are
my
all
God.
You can't judge a dinosaur by the color of their tail."
What are you doing? Why would you make all the minority actors be the ones that have to do these lines and say this? Why do they have to be all the racists?
As they're asking Whoopi, "You're not a speciesist, are you?" She's like, "Yeah, I am. I'm very racist, actually. I'm as racist as they come. It's a fucking dinosaur. What are you talking about?"
And it's all the white people that are like tutting her for being racist. It's all these like fucking white suits at the top of corporations that are going like, "Hey, Whoopi, that's not very nice.
The fucking...
I can't believe that you're racist. Nobody in our society is like that anymore, Whoopi. You really need to, get your act together and come up with the times," says white billionaire
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
He's a dinosaur.
Come on, Coltrane. He graduated from the academy just like you did.
He's a dinosaur.
You're not a speciesist, are you?
Get me results by prime time tomorrow, and I'll double your regular commissions.
He's a dinosaur. Come on.
Hey, Coltrane, straighten up and fly right. This is your chance for a comeback. Don't blow it.
He's a dinosaur.
Look, as long as we're partners, why don't we make the best of it, huh?
You're a dinosaur.
So Teddy Rex wants to be a detective. We're just skipping her. I don't give a fuck. Teddy Rex is just at he wants to be a detective.
I love this movie.
And he goes to a fundraiser for the mayor.
Yeah.
And then he's like trying to talk about, "Oh yeah, there was a dinocide, I want to investigate it. I'm a dinosaur too, so I think I should be able to look into murders. I'm a clown. That's my profession. I'm a clown. You should let me look at this thing."
Like he dresses like he's oh god, why can't Bob Saget? He dresses like Bob Saget at this
but not
point.
the one that swears. The public
he's the
persona.
cardigan sweater one. Yeah.
So the mayor's like pulling his assistant to the side. "No, this is good actually. We can use him as our token dinosaur for our campaign, so we can have a token dinosaur to advertise for our politics."
That's a thing that's not a joke. They literally say token dinosaur.
For your information, I have used my own powers of persuasion to convince the commissioner to assign the department's token dino to your messy dinocide.
Theodore Rex?
Yes, he's that one. I've also teamed him up with a burnt-out gun.
This is going to be trouble. I can feel it.
Fuck me. Fuck me, Blake.
It is not subtle about what it's talking about at all. So anyway, after all the racism and the Eden bomb that's gonna blow up the atmosphere to maybe cause an ice age,
and Whoopi needing to reboot herself because she's a computer who gets shot in the head and it turns her more into computer and then she freezes.
There's also the mummy wheelers that we were talking about, and they're their own faction.
Yeah. There's
the mummy wheelers work for the billionaire who wants to repopulate the earth from scratch, but they're like,
they have a boss that's like Igor.
They have
I guess
Igor,
who's like a corpse stitched together, who's like a cyber corpse man.
So the mummies are constantly pulling pranks, I guess.
Yes.
And one of their pranks is that is Theodore Rex is driving home.
When they come via his vehicle?
It is.
You're talking about the vehicle come.
Man. They jump on top of his vehicle and strip it, and then after they strip
well, I mean, if you're gonna strip it,
they covered it in a white sticky liquid all over, and then as Teddy...
We cummed his vehicle real good,
Teddy's
boss.
talking to Whoopi afterwards. Like, some of the white liquid falls on his face. So his car got bukkakied by mummies?
Did you pull your gun?
My gun?
Yeah, your gun. Don't you have a gun?
Well, actually, I don't believe in violence.
You don't believe in violence, and yet you want to be a police person. Well, you must lead a charmed life, then.
Yeah. Don't I just?
Well, and it's all played for comedy for that. Well, it's intersplicing the scenes of Whoopi going to, like, a secret underground police autopsy room that's, like, top
in a
secret.
different movie?
With a guy, like, with, like, the really dim lighting, who's, like, a guy who's, like, smoking and all cyberized, and he's going, like, yeah, this guy's named Adam, look, he's a gene freak, and, like, showing off, like, the tattoos on the guy, yeah, we got this corpseified dude come up in here, and they're doing all their, like, cyberpunk speak in it, and you're going, what the fuck is happening?
And then it cuts back to Teddy getting bukkakied in his car, you're like, what?
Oh, this movie's so good!
So then it goes from that to a scene of Whoopi and Theodore talking to our billionaire Kane in his checker dimension, like, office.
Oh my god,
which is just a checkerboard, like, wall behind him for some reason. And in there, he's walking around.
It's like, to hide his giant, like, nuclear missile silo of animals
but we find out
he fires nuclear missiles from.
We find out that he Jurassic Park dinosaurs back to back to Earth, back to life.
Yes.
And that he's their creator, so he's also their god and their mother. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. And
no god and his mother. Happy Mother's Day, Armin Mueller-Stahl.
But so he's talking about science and his cloning technology that he's used to bring the dinosaurs back. And then he's like, oh, and I also made these ass fish. These ass fish that I use if you inject the DNA from their ass fish, then you can cryogenically freeze somebody into the future.
His accent really does not help him for the ice fish.
You have something wonderful to show you.
Guppies?
Ice fish.
Ooh.
So there's ass fish, I guess?
There's ass fish.
And you're like, okay, so he's just going to
freeze.
cryogenically freeze a Noah's Ark. I get it. But it's 40 minutes until we see that reveal, I guess. Even though he literally just tells you. So anyway, there's also the explosive butterflies. They find a section of a butterfly after an autopsy where Teddy just puts his hand on the dead dinosaur's head and then comes while...
he just goes, whoa.
While, like...
May I?
Help yourself.
Thank you.
May you what? Religion.
Yes. 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 There you go.
Digging into its memories of its dead corpse.
Mm-hmm. And then he uses that knowledge to do the thing that the coroner, who, by the way, where's this coroner's office? Do you remember?
The Museum of Natural History?
Yes!
For some reason.
Because, well, where else would you take more dinosaurs?
But they're people. But they've... Okay.
No, they're not. They're not, though.
They gave them they're in a caste system, but they're still... What?
They had to go through all of the fossil areas, and he's complaining about it to go to the fucking coroner's office. And then he does the thing that none of them realized to do because he dredged into the memories, which is see the very big obvious pieces of Robo Butterfly that are on its face and pick them up and go, hey, what's this?
So they track the robot butterfly parts.
They just didn't look at the body at all. They just didn't even bother.
Well, I mean, they're racist against dinosaurs. They're not going to look at the body. They're just going to say, like, he tripped and fell and then file it in the cold case files. They don't give a shit. Wait, what is this movie about? Racism? Was that it?
It's about racism. It's about racism.
I guess. Anyway, so they track that down to a weapons dealer called the Toy Maker. So they go to the Toy Maker warehouse.
Some ass dude.
In the Toy Maker warehouse, there's like a bag puppet. Like it's just
oh
a
my
Beetlejuice
god, I
puppet.
forgot about the bag puppet.
It's a Beetlejuice head bag puppet, like a little hand puppet that comes out of a bag. And
this looks like a discount Gumby character.
It looks so bad.
We're looking for the Toy Maker.
Never heard of him.
I mean, you never heard of him. Come on, we know he's here. Where is he?
Who wants to know?
Who are you?
I'm the guy from the bag.
You want me to get in that bag with you and snatch you to pieces?
Ooh, I love it, baby.
What the fuck?
Come and get it.
Come here.
Yeah, I'm a real sicko.
Don't be going in my bag. You understand?
Listen.
What the fuck is this thing?
I want to know where the Toy Maker is. And the hunter's gonna bite your pea head off.
What the fuck? And then that puppet has a little fuzzy guy that's a caterpillar that turns into a robot butterfly, but can also turn back into the puppet caterpillar later.
Holy shit.
And they lead the two of them, Whoopi and Teddy, to the Toy Maker, who is Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
He has shoulder pads for days.
And he looks like either Sub-Zero or Shang Tsung or some combination of them with his costuming. And
oh yeah.
And he like starts putting guns on the table. And then Teddy's like, by the way, I'm a cop and I'm arresting you. So the weapons dealer are like, okay, I'll just blow you up, I guess. You fucking idiot. Like, what do you want? But they end up not blowing them up, and Teddy catches them. So then we get a detailed torture scene for children.
Yes.
Where they increasingly torture this man in more extreme ways as it goes on.
We're not talking like funny haha torture.
This is like waterboarding
stuff.
level.
Yeah, no, they're like talking about they have Teddy pin him down and like talk about ripping his feet apart and like dismembering him and stuff. Like they're fucked up. This movie, when they go to the like when she goes to the coroner's office at one point, like the underground top secret illegal but police district also coroner's office, there's something about it where they're trying to like maybe say that the police are also evil and owned by the billionaires, but then they just don't do any of it. And in that coroner's office, they have aquarium tanks that are filled with formaldehyde and dismembered limbs.
And heads and body
like
parts.
Heads
yeah.
and like it's that kind of design, but then randomly Pee-wee's Funhouse.
I guess, so they torture the information out of him that he was edging the whole time. Because it's also about coming, I guess, and they need to go find Edge.
No. You want to know anything? I'll tell you anything you want to know. It's Edge.
And I guess Edge is the Highlander Joker that was the leader.
Oh, yeah, Stephen McHattie.
Yeah, so then they try to find him by going back in...
We didn't mention him at all. He's just another...
He's just a goon.
Thug that works under... Yeah, who's got, like, really luscious long hair, and he's known as, like, a bit villain. You'll have seen him in some real trash if you've ever seen him around.
So then Whoopi ends up going to the gang headquarters of the Wheeler mummies and beating them all up with editing, movie video editing.
She does the laziest like punches here where she just kind of goes like ugh, and they all just fall over because she just does not give a shit and they're not gonna get her to.
And the only reason she went there was to hijack their ornithopter so that they could fly into the billionaire's zoo, I guess. So that then they can confront him. And he ends up after using the meat vendor child to read some digital thing with his eyes and then throwing him in a cage.
Because no one else could read.
I guess. He ends up like trying to want to take Teddy to cryo so that he will fuck that other dinosaur after the world is destroyed.
You know, the one that Teddy was already fucking. That he had his henchmen, not the Stephen McHattie one, but the other one that's like the organ dude, sit there and stay in the bushes, peeping through the window as they were having their dino sex scene.
I'm starting to realize why they put a crawl at the beginning of this movie, actually, so keep talking about it, because this is making no fucking sense.
And by the way, I do love that when Stephen McHattie came on, you went, holy shit, it's Highlander. And he's not Highlander, but you were like, you had no idea. He was actually on Highlander then, the series.
The series, I guess,
a lot. Yeah. And you just thought that he looked like Highlander. I thought that you were joking and you knew that he was on Highlander. Like, oh no, you didn't even know. But that's exactly Stephen McHattie's career.
Yeah. So anyways, they end up stopping. Oh yeah, by the way, there was the guy who was the assistant to the mayor who was actually working for the billionaire. And he goes up to the assistant and he's like, hey, so am I getting on the Ark too? Or is it just you two? Like, I know there's only two of everyone, but I mean, I'm working for the evil guy. Like, you got to let me on the Ark, right?
Obviously, leopards won't eat my face, right? So, like, I mean, I'm obviously doing this for a reason. You have an agreement with me, I think. Did we agree to anything? And she goes, yeah, sure. We agreed to you dying.
Yeah, because the mummies sneak up behind him and just jizz him. Like, all over, so he's covered in cum, and then he's dead, I guess?
I think that the implication, because they keep talking about cryo stuff, is that they freeze him.
It did not look like freezing.
But when you look at it, my guess for the effect, that, like, what they actually did in practicality, is they melted wax.
Maybe.
And, like, stuck wax on him, because it looks like clumps of wax. Yeah. He looks like a wax man. It's really weird. It looks awful. It looks so bad.
What diseases run in your family?
Very big feet.
How delightful.
What, was something I said?
Sweet dreams, Summers.
So the bad guy shoots the missile off and then starts to drive away after shooting Whoopi and Teddy.
Yes.
But Teddy didn't get shot. He lied and was acting like he was shot or something.
Except that he, like, goes out of that scene very obviously, like, hobbled, holding his side where he got shot.
Yeah.
But he says to Whoopi, no, I'm just pretending I didn't get shot. So I don't know if that was meant to be that he was, like, putting on a brave face.
And Teddy's like,
actually was?
Yeah, but he's like, here, give me that gun. I'm going to shoot that billionaire. And Whoopi's like, no.
This is amazing.
You can't shoot the billionaire. You're better than that. Use your brain, dinosaur. Use your brain. I'm not racist anymore. I think you're smart and not something that
you're no longer my token dinosaur.
You're just my friend. And you can't shoot him with a gun.
Don't take a gun, though. No, you can't have my gun, though. You're not allowed to have
what
my
happens
gun,
in the next scene, like, immediately afterwards? Like,
well, he uses his brain and sees that there's a guard and kills him and takes his bigger gun.
Oh, well, I'll just get a bigger gun then.
But then he goes, wait, Whoopi said guns are bad, even though she has a gun and she's used it constantly through the whole movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this gun away.
And instead he gets a rope and makes a grappling hook. And what he does is he catches up to the Jeep on foot somehow. That is driving away with our Highlander and our billionaire, and he catches the chair in the driver's seat of the Jeep, which I don't know how this happens. The whole chair in full with the buckle
intact
comes off of the Jeep. It must have been a Tesla.
Yes. As the man was driving. Well, I mean, he's a billionaire, so...
He must have bought a Tesla, and, like, they just strapped it down with, like, hot glue or something.
This is absolutely just Elon, like, 20 years before he actually came around.
And then
the man's building rockets, he's got his own cars. He's got a Jesus complex, I don't know.
But he gets the button that shuts off the missile, and it blows up in the atmosphere, which is fine. Even though I think that's what they were trying to do.
Well, I also want to mention really quickly, because the implication that Teddy throws away the gun is like, listen, Teddy, you can use your brain. You don't need to use violence. So he uses a grappling hook to drag this man out of the car which immediately kills Edge, the henchman.
Who's super dead. Yeah.
Who then goes careening without a driver into a billboard and has the car fucking explode, spraying body parts in a mile-wide radius.
Was it in Back to the Future where, like, is it Biff that goes through the
Yes.
road sign? He got biffed.
Yeah. Yeah, he got biffed, except that the car fucking explodes and he dies.
God damn it.
So it's like, hey kids, don't use violence like guns. Use violence like grappling hooks, where you can
Those are
blow
much
people
better.
up
Those
into
are
a
much
bunch.
better.
It's way more interesting. It's way cooler as a death scene.
And
if you just shoot
yeah.
somebody, it's just over. You gotta do something way bigger than that.
And then the movie ends with the corrupt mayor, who is still in power, being
Yes.
like, wow, thank you, Whoopi, and thank you, Teddy. You have solved racism.
All of my plans worked.
There was also the missile thing, but mostly the racism you solved. We're not racist against dinosaurs anymore. Thank you.
We're here today to honor Theodore Rex. Teddy, we owe you an apology. Soft skin, scale, you've shown us that they're only words. Words that keep us apart. Our survival rests on all species, treating each other with compassion, kindness, and respect. Teddy,
Go on.
My plan to put a token dinosaur, as I said, onto your team worked expertly. I'm so smart. I solved racism by having a token minority as part of this group.
And then the movie's just very quickly like, please leave the theater. Please get the fuck out of here. See ya.
Oh my god, yeah, the movie has an end title.
It's
like you
just
said.
see ya.
Yeah, it just cuts the black and puts up see ya.
Weird.
See ya. Get the fuck out.
But, okay, so this movie has a lot in common with Tammy and the T-Rex, like we were talking about.
It actually does.
And one thing being that this was actually supposed to be gorier and more violent and darker, which makes me think there might be a violent gore cut of Theodore Rex out there.
If we could get somebody to find the reels
that would
of
be
all the extra gore they
so
wanted to put in.
There had to be a
I
gore
wanna
cut
see
where they
it.
were like blowing up pieces of people and flying everywhere, and because they have bits and pieces of it through the film. And
I need the R-rated cut of
there's
this.
very dark, like just shooting somebody in the chest and they fall backwards with no funny comedy scene, like noises or anything.
Oh, constantly, yeah. There's a lot of extreme violence and stuff in this. I mean, again, like one of the villains that she stops in the beginning are in a truck they kidnap a man off the street
to harvest his
and
organs.
start chopping him up for organs in the back of this van as they're careening down the highway.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dark cyberpunk future where it's like, oh, like, gangs just abduct people off the streets and chop them up for organs so they can cyberize them and, like, sell them on the meat markets. And you're like, what the fuck?
It makes me think the original script of this film might have actually been good. Just based on little bits and pieces here. The animatronics and stuff never would have got there.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
But there might have been at least a chance to having a good story here. But that's Theodore Rex. So let's rate the dog. There is a dog.
There is a dog.
Dog is named Zippy. It's like a cute little fluffy dog with curly hair. I don't know what type of dog that is, but
a terrier?
Maybe
it's a terrier. It looks like I don't think that it's a Yorkshire, but it looks like it might be like a Yorkshire cross.
Yeah,
with something.
Zippy is constantly afraid of the giant dinosaur costumes in the room.
Yes.
And is trying to either hide or run to a handler offset.
And barks constantly at the dinosaur every time that it looks at him.
Yep. And then there's this one scene where the dinosaurs are dancing because they're going to fuck. As the guy outside has his binoculars and is looking at them going, yes, sicko, yes. And then at that moment, Zippy is also dancing and doing twirls and circles, and it's really cute.
Zippy's like, yay, dinosaurs fucking, yay! And does a little ballerina spin.
I would rate Zippy a sue and counter sue for $2 million more out of $5 million. I think is my rating for this.
I think I'll rate Zippy a treat held slightly off screen to get it to do a little jig. And that was pretty good for me.
Not unlike us, the dog was constantly trying to leave the film. Just like Whoopi, actually. And we just wanted it. we wanted to get as far away as possible, so that's a good dog. That dog is smart, knows what's up.
Absolutely. God. I can, unironically, I'm gonna go, and we don't like to do this very often, but if you like weird B movies, this is a movie that you only need to pay half attention to. But just every once in a while, you need to look up and go, what the fuck are they doing now? With a bunch of friends while you're drinking a bunch of beers or something. This is a perfect movie for that in my mind. Like, it's not like a good B movie in some ways, but like it's that kind of experience for B movies where it's just so bad and baffling that you kind of need to see it with some friends and just laugh.
This is one they should show at film school, in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
Because there's so many lessons to learn from this film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And not one of them is that racism was cured.
And if you have the cure for racism, you can contact us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. Or you can send us it on Blue Sky, where we're Rough Cuts Cast. You can also send us your tips for solving racism on our Patreon, along with a small donation. Because that would we'd really appreciate it. Boyks can stop buying these movies.
I'm cracking up. I can't. Fucking movie. Anyway,
all right, I'm gonna leave the theater of this room.
Yeah, I think the contract's over. Yeah, you can leave now. I'm not gonna lock it and make you stay for another movie next week, which is also about a T-Rex film that we've been setting up for a while. So you'll be good.
Boyks.
Yeah, no, I'll let you out next episode
Boyks!
When we're done with. All right, see you, folks. So I'm looking at this website. I don't know if we should do this, like
Theodore Rex.
Relaxed fine dining with a French touch in the Houston area. Sense of humor.
Okay, in Houston, I don't know. Yeah, French in Houston.
French in Houston? Like,
I don't believe it.
They just have like random fucking lines on their website for no reason. What the hell is this? It's like
well,
somebody took a pen and wrote on their website.
No, what it is, it's the avatar that people do on like Reddit or whatever that looks like a hair, so that you have to sit on your monitor going like, what the fuck? Trying to like scrub it off.
Yeah.
And then they're like, haha, we've pulled a small prank on you that I'll never know about.
Waiter, there appears to be a hair on my website. Like,
God damn it.
The hell is this?
Like, how's this? Here is one of their large,
but
here's one of their large parts of their menu. So they have raw and chilled, small and warm, and then large are their things that they have, which is what the fuck does that even mean?
Why is their food ordered by the size and the amount that you get? Shouldn't it just be
right?
by the meal?
Like a main, if it's a main or a starter or a salad. Yeah, roasted cap of beef, jus roti, chestnut mushrooms, leek ash. How much money?
25.
75 American dollars.
Where did they get this roast beef?
That was like that had better be some real fucking primo shit, but they're not saying that it's real primo shit, so I doubt it is. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, I guess we're watching Theodore Rex because I was setting up for a joke about it.
Yeah, you were setting up for a joke about it, and then I just sat there and read a menu for 5 minutes.
I see that.
Took all the air out of it.
There you go.
I win. You can't joke me.
My whole life ruined by dogs.